Hey, in today's video, I am going to show you how you can customize your website headers using Elementor. On my screen here, you see that I have just installed a basic Astra theme, the free version of it, and I have just imported one of the starter templates, and by default, this is the generic menu that I've got. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign into the website as an administrator. So let's do that first. All right, I am signed in as the administrator here. So now I can edit the website. Now, if you want to edit this default header, and let's scroll down to the bottom, and you have this default footer as well. Okay, so if you go on to the customize tab here on your admin toolbar, let's click on customize. And once you click on customize, it's going to open up the theme customizer. And here, if you come into the header builder section, this is where you can edit the header that is provided by the theme. Now, it of course gives you certain options. So if you want to, as you see on the left hand side, this total header has been divided into 3 rows, and the center row is being used at the moment, but you could also use the bottom row and the top header bar as well. They have been divided into 3 columns. On the left hand side, there is this site title and logo. So if you click on it, you can upload your logo, and you also have the option to upload a retina or a high resolution image. We can do that. We can adjust the logo width, and this options here that you see is going to differ from theme to theme. Some themes, like for example here I have the Astra theme, that's going to give you these options. If you install some other theme like Hello Elementor or Cadence or Ocean WP, every theme is going to have its own options depending on the developers that have prepared this theme. Okay, so this is the basic theme. In my opinion, you can't do too much customizations here, which is why I never use the headers and the footers that is provided with the theme itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this, and then we are going to install a free plugin which is going to help you build headers and footers for Elementor. I'm going to show you the free version of it. So the plugin that you want to install is called Elementor Header and Footer Builder. It's been developed by Brainstorm Force, which is the team behind the Astra theme. And go to the add plugin, add new plugin here, search for Elementor Header and Footer Builder. Let's search for it, Elementor Header and Footer. So it'll appear here by Brainstorm Force. Once you have it, just install and activate it. So I've already done it, so I'm going to move on to the next steps now. So once you've installed it, under the appearance tab, you're going to see this Elementor Header and Footer Builder. Let's click on it. And then it's going to open up this portal. So let's click on add new. And I'm going to first of all create a main header. Okay. And I'm going to call this main header. It's asking you what kind of a template it is. Select header here, and then it opens up a few more options. It's asking you where do you want this to be displayed on. Now if you click on this drop down box, you can either select entire website or only the single pages, or you can also have special pages like the search page or the front page only. You can put this onto all the blog posts or landing pages that Elementor gives you by default. Now since on this website I also have tutor LMS, so it's asking me, do you want this header to be only for your all courses page or all your lessons or all your quizzes? So as you can see, we can do multiple. We can also have specific target here, and then it's asking you, okay, search for the particular page or post, type it, and then it'll find the particular page where you want to install this header. So for this sake, I'm going to say it's going to be on my entire website. I can add another display rule, or I can also add exclusion rule. So I can say that I want this header to be on entire website, but I do not want this on all my courses landing page. Okay, so let's say that is the rule I want. I can set this up. At the moment I will not do that. You can also select if you want this header to be for particular user roles. So do you want this only for logged in users or logged out users or for administrators only? So you can select all that out, and then once you're happy with the customizations and the display conditions, click on publish. So now that we've published it, we can click on the edit with Elementor button. Alright, so here we are into the Elementor page designer here. So what I'm going to do is click on the plus icon. I'm going to add a container based layout here. So let's click on the container. I want the container to be horizontally aligned. So every widget that I place into this container, I want them to be placed side by side and not top down. So by default, the vertical is selected. So what I'm going to do is change it to horizontal. I'm going to justify the contour such that each of the elements are spaced equally in between. So I'm going to select space between, and I also want to make sure that the vertical alignment is exactly at the center of the container. So these are the options that I'm going to select. You can leave the columns and rows cap to 20, which is the default. Later on, if you want something, you can always adjust it. The first thing that I want to pull is, usually you should be pulling in the site logo, okay? And here when I click on logo, I have this in the free version of Elementor. You don't get the site logo from Elementor Pro, but the header footer builder has its own site logo widget. So we click on it. It's going to pull in the site logo and place it to the left side of the container itself. Now that particular container, I can either say it's a boxed, and by default it's saying 1140 pixels. I can also make it full width, and then the whole container is going to be stretched out to the width of the whole page or the display available. So that's 100% of the width, and let's change that. So that's the first thing that I want. The next item that I want is the navigation menu. So here I have the navigation menu. When I see HFB on top of it, that's the header footer builder widget. I'm going to pull it and place it to the right hand side of the logo itself, and that's now the navigation menu is here. And let's place one more element here, and that's going to be my button. So I'm going to call this button. I'm going to place it to the center here, but then on the navigator tab, I'm going to pull it down. So my button is going to be on the right hand side. Now this can be any kind of navigation button, but you know, I'm thinking that later I'm going to use this as a login button. So when somebody clicks on this button, they are going to be taken either to the login page, or if I have the Elementor Pro, then I can actually have a pop-up open up, which is going to allow my users to log in then and there instead of going to one more page and then come back again. I don't want to do all that. Okay, so let's say this is going to be used for the login. So now I have a header which has been designed. It's a simple header, but you can add as many widgets as you want. Let's click on update now. So in typical scenarios, what you will do is when you are designing something like this, you want to make sure that you click on the responsive mode, and you also take a look on how this is going to look in your tablet version as well as in the mobile version. Now, as you see in the mobile version, it's actually splitting into 3 columns top down, which is not good. So what we want to do is we want to also adjust here. And for doing that, what we need to do is actually make sure that each of these elements are spaced smaller. Now, as you can see, this menu hamburger icon is actually pretty big. So what I want to do is click on that icon, go to advanced tab, and under the width, instead of having a default, I'm going to make it custom, and I'm going to say make it only 30 pixels wide. So now that hamburger icon became small, which allows the login button to come and be placed side by side. Okay, so that is what you do. Let's click on update, and now let's go to the front end here. So now you have the default header from the theme. I'm going to refresh this page, and voila, I have the new header that I created just now in the Elementor header footer. Now it's stretched too much. If you don't like it to be stretched so much, let's come here, click on the desktop visibility preview here. Let's go to container, and instead of having it full width, we can say boxed, but I don't want this to be 1140. I think that's too small. Let's make it 1280 pixels, and let's update it. It's updated. Go to the front end and refresh it, and now you will see that your menu, your header has changed. So that's how you prepare a header for your website, and this header is going to be applicable to your entire website. So let's click on my course page here, and as you see, even the course page has this same menu. So let's say now I want a different header for my course page. So what I'm going to do, come back, I'm going to close this. I'm going back to appearance, Elementor header footer builder, and now this main header that I have right now, it's displaying on the entire website. I'm going to add an exclusion rule here, and I'm going to say don't display this on the courses page. Okay, and let's update it. Let's go back to the course page and refresh, and you see that this has now changed to the default theme header, but I want to build a new header completely customized just for my course page. So I'm going back to header builder here. I'm going to click on add new. This one I'm going to call course page header. I'm going to select, I'm going to say that this is a header as well, but this is to be displayed only on my all courses page. I'm going to publish this. Then I'm going to click on edit with Elementor. And here I'm going to select one more container. Once again, let's make it horizontal. Let's space it in between and let's make sure that they are vertically aligned at the center. Once this is done, let's add in the first widget. So let's once again add in the logo. And I want to add a new button this time, but this button is going to be called community. Okay, so let's assume that whoever is on this course page, if they want, they can come and join my community, and that's how I'm going to use it. I'm also going to give this container a new color so that we are able to identify. So let's give it a light orange color like this so that we can differentiate from the main header. Let's update it. Let's go back to the course page here. Let's refresh that page, and you see we have this new header here. Whereas if I go back to the home page, I have the main header here. And if I only come to the course page, I have this. So every new course or any other page that I have that is related to a course, that's going to have this header. So with using the Elementor header and footer builder, you will actually be able to customize any part of your website. So let's say you have a WooCommerce store and you want to have a different header on only your products, you can do that. If you want a header, a special header only on your checkout page, you can do that. So this way you are able to customize each and every part header for every part of your website. So I hope you found this video helpful. Now, this is the free version. Elementor Pro also has a variation of this where you can actually build headers, but if you can make do with the free version, I think this will suffice all your necessities. Similarly to the header, you can also create a footer, you can also create a before footer, and you can customize your website the way you like it. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a like and also subscribe to this channel for more WordPress tutorials. See you in the next one.